And awesome. So you can see my mat there. Perfect. So you're just going to go ahead and lie down on your mat. We're going to start with our rest assess. And I just have one more little thing to do. There we go. All right. So give yourself permission to drop in and get a sense of what we call your body sense. Legs are apart, palms are to the ceiling. Make sure your arms are just a little away from your body so you're not touching any part of you. And then close your eyes, and we're just going to take a few breaths here. Just inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Inhale. Good. And exhale. And now just dropping in and getting a sense of what we call your body sense. We're going to look at our 4 common muscle imbalances and the 3 places that stuck stress likes to live in your body. The first is your shoulder girdle. So if you have stuck stress living in your shoulder girdle or in your upper body, you might notice that rather than sitting flat and wide on your shoulder blades, you're a little bit tipped back towards the top of the shoulder blades. But you might feel it's just kind of like the bones or the tips of the shoulder blades are pointing into the ground. You might also feel like you're sitting differently from the right shoulder blade to the left shoulder blade. You can turn your head just gently to the right and to the left. And just notice if there's any restrictions in the end ranges. And then coming back to center, if there's stuck stress living in your shoulder blades, shoulder girdle, you might notice also the shoulders being rolled forward rather than broad and open through your collarbone. And also as you check in with your arms, you might notice that rather than resting on the back of your elbow, you're resting more on the side. And that rather than your palms being to the ceiling, you might notice that they more want to turn in. The second place that stuck stress likes to live is in your diaphragm, and that's going to affect your mid-back and your rib cage and the curve of your spine. So ideally, your ribs are down on the mat, they're flat and wide, and the curve of your back is from the top of your pelvis to your belly button. But if you have stuck stress in your diaphragm, you'll notice that rather than being a low back curve, you have what we call a whole back curve. So you'll feel like your back is arched up off the mat. And you could even feel like you're resting between your pelvis or even your tailbone and the top of your shoulder blade. That's going to affect how you feel in your mid-back. It's going to affect your ease of breath, your ease of movement through your rib cage, and also your low back. The third place is in your pelvis. So noticing if ideally you're resting on 2 fluffy butt cheeks. Instead, if you have stuck stress in your pelvis, you might feel like you're arched, your pelvis is tipped forward or tipped down towards your tailbone. You might even notice how your legs are in terms of the back of your thighs being masses or your masses resting on the mat. Or the back of your knees, which are spaces, ideally are off the mat. You might feel like they're really pulled off the mat or they're even like flat down into the mat. And ideally your toes are pointed to where the wall and the ceiling meet. Coming back to your torso, we're going to look at how efficiently your body's autopilot is today. And you can divide your body into a left and right. And ideally you're equally weighted on the 2 sides of your body. But if you're autopilot, that's your body's natural way of helping you know where you are standing and balanced without you even thinking about it. You might feel like you're a little more heavy on the right or the left side of your body, or even feel like your one side, your leg and arm is longer than the other. I'm going to have you take a focused breath in. You're going to bend your knee and roll over onto your side and push yourself up to a seated position. So we're going to start with our Rebounded Sequence. And again, we're going to be throwing in some strength and stability movements along the way. So you're going to take your roller and place it lengthwise like so on the mat, and then bring your body down. So you're going to be able to put your pelvis on the bottom of the mat. So when you lie back, your head is also going to be on the mat. So stabilize the roller with one hand, and the other hand, put it on the floor beside you, and just tip your butt up, and then you can sit right on. So you want to be right forward on the end of the mat. Knees are bent, feet are planted, and then using your hands just to lie yourself back. And then reach up and just make sure that your whole head is on the roller. You don't want your head up here off the roller. We want to make sure, because we want to communicate with your nervous system from tip to tail. And then bring your elbows, your forearm, and your hands onto the mat. And the very first thing that we do when we lie on the roller in this orientation is what we call your gentle rocking. So here you want to roll as if your whole torso, from your head to your spine to your tailbone, is Velcro to the roller. So you're literally rolling with the roller. Ideally, your chest, your ribs, and your pelvis are all moving in equal timing as you go side to side. Once your elbow catches you, you head over to the other side. So we're doing this for two reasons. One is to let your spine get used to lying on the roller. If you're doing this on a hard roller, it won't feel as soft, but it still works just fine. And it also gives your autopilot some feedback to know where your center of gravity is. Bringing yourself back to center, we're going to go right into our three-dimensional breath. You're going to place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. And you're going to take 3 longer than normal inhales. And what I want you to focus on here as you inhale is your belly rising first, and then your chest. And then as you exhale, nice and easy, out through pursed lips, let your chest and then your belly fall. Inhale, belly rises, then your chest, and then exhale. So we're taking what we call full diaphragmatic breaths in, such as that when you let the belly rise first, also notice the movement in your rib cage. Your rib cage moves and expands like a barrel. One more time, inhale, let your belly rise first, filling your belly all the way up, and then exhale. Good. Now place both hands on your abdomen. We're going to go into focusing on our exhale. We're going to make our 3 sounds, and then, and all there is to do is allow your hands to follow the natural movement of your belly. And our focus here is activating what we call your deep-rooted core. So you'll take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to make a And what you might notice is the hugging effect of your core in your organs and the stabilizing effect of your spine. Now your second sound is like air going out of the tube. And notice if that feels like it's a deeper connection or not as deep as the first. And the third is an HA sound, inhale and exhale. And now you're going to make the sound that gives you that deepest sense of connecting into your deepest rooted core mechanism. Inhale. And exhale. Good. And now we're going to do another breath. And this time you're going to go without the sound. And you want to focus on that deep activation. It's like the air, the abdominals are contracting to push and move the air out of your body. Good. Now keeping your hands on your pelvis with your fingers on your pubic bone. And we're just going to go through your breath into your tuck and then your tilt. So as you're breathing, you tuck, pubic bone comes to your belly button. And then in your next exhale, you tilt. Now what's important here is as you tuck, we're just going to hold that tuck for a moment, just pause there, is that your pubic bone is drawing towards your belly button. You'll feel the low back lengthen down onto the mat, but as you hold the tuck, check, are you relaxed in your glutes and light in your feet? Now, what you might also notice is that you might feel yourself moving on the roller. That's okay, don't fight that. Allow that movement to happen. On your next exhale, you're going to tilt. And in the tilt, you're simply letting the weight of your pelvis land on the roller, but you're still light on your feet. So go ahead with your breath. As you exhale, you tuck. So we're moving your pelvis from your pelvis. Relax glutes, light feet. And then on your next breath, you tilt where you're heavy in your pelvis and light in your feet. Now, what's important here when you tuck and tilt is that you're staying still in your ribs. So you can also place your hands on your rib cage and notice, are you moving your ribs? So what's important for back health is that we can move our pelvis independent of our rib cage. And then we're going to go into our rib curl, which is where we're going to move our rib cage without our pelvis. Good. So now stay in your tilt. Make sure that your feet are tucked in. You're planted through your feet, but light on your feet. And now you're going to hug yourself. You're going to wrap your arms around you and see if you can grab your ribs. If that's difficult for you, just take hold of your shoulders or your arms. So now we're going to go into our rib curl. Now go ahead and tuck your pelvis. And then we're going to tilt. And what we want to stay is tilted. We don't want to tuck. And you're going to have to manage that because your body is going to want to tuck. All right, so here we go. Take a breath in. As you exhale, we're now going to bring our head and reach your elbows towards your pelvis and your ribs towards your pelvis. And then pause there as you inhale and untuck your pelvis. So this is where you want to reset the pelvis into a tilt. And then as you exhale, you're going to lift this time straight up towards the ceiling, just about 1 more inch. Check your pelvis, is it still tilted? Take another breath and exhale, lower yourself all the way down. And again, take a breath in. As you exhale, check that you're tilted in your pelvis. You're going to draw your ribs towards your pelvis, so you're curling forward towards the pelvis here. And then as you inhale, reset your pelvis to a tilt. And then exhale, you're going to lift straight up towards the ceiling, just 1 more inch, but check your pelvis, is it still tilted? And then come back down. We're going to do 1 more with our arms crossed this way. As you exhale, pelvis starts tilted. You're curling forward towards your pelvis. Inhale, reset. Exhale, come up 1 more inch, this time straight up towards the ceiling. And bring it down. Good. And then cross your arms the other way. Now, if you're finding this difficult on your neck, just put 1 hand behind your head. But the way we cross the arms, the idea is that it's a little less in the neck. So check that you're in your tilt. Take a focused breath in. As you exhale, you're going to curl forward, elbows and ribs to the pelvis. Inhale, tilt your pelvis, reset it. Exhale, lift up 1 more inch. And then inhale to lower yourself back down. Again, as you exhale, pelvis is in a tilt, curling up. Pause, reset your pelvis. Lift 1 more inch straight up towards the ceiling. So here we're practicing moving your thoracic spine or your rib cage while maintaining stillness in your pelvis. Last one, exhale, curl your ribs, your elbows towards your pelvis. Reset your pelvis and exhale, lift up just a little more and bring it all the way down. Bring your arms long by your side. Take your hands a little wider than the mat and reach your arms so your elbows are straight, pressing your palms down into the roller. Open your throat so you're looking straight to the ceiling, and then just tilt your head slightly to your left, only to 1 or 2 o'clock. And then reach through your right arm a little more, looking to feel just a 2-directional tensional pull through your neck, down your upper arm. If you don't feel much, just gently tilt to the left on your roller. Keep reaching through the right arm. Pause, take a breath in. And as you exhale, we'll slowly unwind that by bringing your body back to center, relaxing your arm and your head to center. Take a breath in. As you exhale, gently tilt your head to the right. Make sure you're not dropping your chin. Stay open through your throat. Reach through the left arm. Now you might be feeling enough of a tensional pull here down the neck and arm. If not, then you just simply tilt a little to the right, continue to reach through the left arm. Pause, take another focused breath in. And as you exhale, slowly unwind and come back to center. Extend your left leg out. Roll off your roller, move your roller off to the side and lie down on your back. Close your eyes, palm to the ceiling, and let's just check in. Notice, is there more of you on the mat? Are you noticing here that your shoulder blades are more flat on the mat? Are you noticing that your ribs have come down and that instead of a whole back curve, there's more of a whole low back curve? Also notice where you're weighted on your pelvis. Are you feeling that now you're more centered and weighted on your butt cheeks as opposed to tip towards your tailbone? And then just turn your head to the right and left and notice if there's any more freedom or ease of movement in your neck. I'm going to have you come back to center, take a focused breath in, and exhale, bend your knees, roll onto your side, and come up to a seated position. Good. Did you notice some tissue changes there? Seriously powerful, you know, and just doing that rebalance sequence. And today we just did our breath and we worked pelvis and we worked rib cage. Sometimes with the upper arm lengthening sequence, and you get that same result. So, you know, getting on the roller and doing some things like what we've done on Monday or today is really powerful. So now we're going to work through upper body compression. You're going to take the roller behind you and you're going to come onto the roller. So if you have a performance roller, this is when you want to use that. If you are on the hard roller, now you want to move to your soft roller. You don't want to do this with the hard roller if you have a melt roller. All right. So we're going to take our body on the roller and you're just going to punch your arms up so that you can feel that you're hitting your shoulder blades. And then next we want to stabilize the back. So you're going to lift your pelvis, you're going to tuck it. So you're activating your abdominals and you're going to place your pelvis down so that now we stabilize the low back so we can focus just on the rib cage and the upper back. Take your hands, interlock your fingers behind you, keep your abdominals engaged, and you're just going to do a little rib length assess where you lengthen through your ribs. I'm not arching back over the roller. I just want to lengthen my ribs and see what's available. I'm going to have you side bend to the right and breathe into your left rib. And just notice how that feels. Is there any restriction? And then come back to center. And then side bend over to the left, breathe into your right rib cage. And again, just notice how that feels. Is there any restriction? And come back to center. So now we're going to go into our upper body compression. You're going to move your feet away from you a little bit so you can slide the roller down so you're more in the upper part of your shoulder blades, and then walk your feet back in. Your elbows are going to point to where the wall and the ceiling meet to pull your shoulder blades apart a little bit. And then you're going to hover your pelvis just a little bit off the mat, and you're going to go into your glide. So when I'm gliding, the roller is moving underneath me. We want to focus on pressing into the front side of the roller versus the top of the roller. So what you'll notice is that I'm scooped a little bit. I'm not rolling on top of the roller like so. I'm scooped and I'm pressing against the roller. We're going to lay your pelvis down and then go into your shear where we're side bending. So you want to picture that one vertebra being pinned to the roller and you're moving the vertebra above, kind of like a bear scratching its back on a tree. And then you wait, take a focused breath in and exhale. And then move the roller. I'm just going to come down so y'all can see me. And then move the roller so it's in the middle of your shoulder blades. And same thing, lift your pelvis and you're going to glide in the middle part of your shoulder blade. Good. Excellent. You're just looking for any points of tenderness. The glide is the preparatory, preparing for the shear, and exploratory, just noticing how does my body feel. Bring your pelvis down and go into your shear where you're twisting. Good. And then pause, take a focused breath in, give the tissue time to adapt, and then exhale. Then you're going to move up so that the roller's at the bottom of your shoulder blades, and same thing. Just check here that you're not pulling on your head, that you're letting your head be nice and relaxed and supported by the arms, and you're just gliding up and down. Good. And then you're going to pause and you're going to twist. Excellent. And then you're going to take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. All right. So now we're going to go into our glide on the inner shoulder blade. So resetting up here. I'm going to reach my right elbow to the ceiling so that it tilts me over onto the left side of the shoulder blade. I'm going to lift my pelvis and we're going to glide now up and down the whole range of the inside edge of your shoulder blade. And then if you find something that feels a little tender, I just want you to bump up against it. We don't want to barrel over top of a lump or a bump. Instead, we want to push against it as a way to kind of push it out. And then we're going to pause and you're going to fan this elbow open and close, or you can move your arm around in front of your body in any direction. And then you wait, take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. And then over to the other side. So now you're going to tilt your left elbow up, which is going to tilt you onto the right inner shoulder blade. Lift your pelvis and start gliding all the way up and down on the inside edge of your shoulder blade. Find a spot, bump up against it. And then you're going to lay your pelvis down and fan your elbow. Or you can move your arm around anywhere that you like. And you're going to wait. Take a breath in and exhale. Good. And then you're going to sit up. So now take your time with this. You're going to move your roller to the middle of your mat, and then you're going to fold the mat in half like so. Then to give a little extra cushioning for your pelvis, you're going to fold just the end of the mat over like this. Then we're going to sit on our mat, and you're going to come back onto the roller where at the bottom of your shoulder blades. Then I want to create a little more support for my low back, so I'm going to grab my mat, I'm going to lift my hips and pull it tight, and you'll feel how this kind of cradles your low back a little bit. Good. Then you're going to bring your legs up, and you're going to place your hands behind your legs, and you're going to relax your shoulders, press your thighs into your hands and your hands into your thighs, such as that you get a contraction here through your abdomen. Then take a breath in. As you exhale, keep contracting, pulling your abdominals in, and release your hands. And notice if your abdominals stay pulled in or if they pop up. We want to keep them pulled in. Let's do that again. Hands behind your thighs. Relax your shoulders. Press your thighs into your hands and your hands into your thighs to get that abdominal work of your abdominals pulling down or in. On your next exhale, recontract, pulling in. Release your hands, and were you able to keep that core engagement? Excellent. Now hold on to that. You're going to take your hands behind your head. You're going to inhale, take that body back just a little bit, and exhale to curl forward. Inhale and exhale to curl forward. One more time. Inhale and exhale to curl forward. Now stay here, and you're just going to rotate over to one side, and then you come back to center. Keep drawing belly to spine, rotate over to the other side, and come back to center. Rotate to one side, keep drawing your belly to spine, come back to center, and rotate, come back to center. Now again, we're going to rotate to this side, and then we're going to kick the other leg out. And you're going to pause there as you draw your abdominals in from your breath. Bring the leg in and come back to center. Rotate to the other side. Keep drawing belly to spine. Kick that leg out. Take a breath in. Bring the leg in and come back to center. One more each side. Rotate. Keep drawing belly to spine. Kick the leg out. That's it. And bring it in. Come back to center. How's your tummy? Is it pulling in? And then rotate. Kick the leg out, bring it in, come back to center, hands behind your legs, and roll yourself up. Good. All right. So now we're going to unfold the mat, opening it all the way up. And then you're going to move the roller down your mat. This is where if you have a half roller, Sharon and Anne, you're going to grab your half roller. And you're going to go with the flat side down. Okay, perfect. And now you're going to lie down on your back with the roller behind your hips. Just notice how your upper back feels there before we lift the hips up. Just notice if it's feeling really flat and heavy down into the mat. Really quite a nice warm feeling. So place your hands on your roller. You're going to lift your pelvis and bring the roller underneath. Now, the placement is important, especially those of you that are new to this, is you want to make sure that the roller is underneath your pelvis, on your that your sacrum is on it. So just reach back and you want to feel that it's not under the low back and that you can actually feel the very top of your pelvis is on your body side of the roller. When you bring your legs up like so, you want to see that the pelvis, the greater trochanter here, is right over top of the roller. And that if it's too low, it'll feel when you bring your legs up like it's going to shoot out. So that's really important. So we're going to bring our feet back down and you're going to place your hands on your pelvis again. And here we're just going to go into your tuck and your tilt. So with the tuck, you're drawing your pubic bone towards you. You want to stay light on your feet and relaxed in your glutes. When you tilt, your ribs stay heavy. You simply untuck where the weight of your pelvis is on top of the roller and you're still light in your feet. So again, if you need to place your hands on your ribs to do that, to get that feedback, you tuck and you tilt. And just notice, so we spent a lot of time today freeing up the pelvis from your ribs. I've noticed hearing from people that their backs are feeling tight, maybe they're out gardening a lot, or we're just getting stiff from a lot of walking and then sitting. Good, tuck and tilt. Excellent. So now you're going to stay tucked. You want to bring your legs up and up. You want to keep your heels dropped to your seats. We want to keep the thighs relaxed. And then you're going to bring your thighs a little closer towards you, right? So this would be 90 degree here. This is away. We don't want that. We want your legs a little more in towards you. Take your hands onto your roller and then just tilt over to the right and bring your left hand under your left pelvis a little. And then tip over to the left and bring your right hand under. And then we're going to go into your SI joint shear, where we're just now bringing some hydration into your SI joint and your low back. We're just going to rock side to side. So the hands are there. They act as some lovely guide so that we don't go past the SI joint. We just want to land on top of them. And then you're going to land with your knees over to your left. We're going to start to circle both legs. Now notice that I'm keeping my legs more towards me as opposed to away from me. Don't let your legs go way out here. It's too hard to hold that. We want to keep the weight of your body directly on top of the roller. Then you can keep the right leg still and just do circles in the left hip. If you feel any snapping, cracking, clicking, popping, crunching, just slow it down, and you can also make the circle a little bit smaller. And you can also march. Good. And then you're going to hold, pause, take a focused breath in, and exhale, bring it back to center. You're going to take your legs over to the other side, and both legs together go into your circle. We get really stuck in the SI joint, and when we are stuck in the SI joint, it can really wreak havoc. We'll feel like our back hurts, like it's good, something is horribly wrong, and it's just the SI joints get all locked up. Let's circle the inside hip. And so this one is really great for keeping mobility in the SI joint, keeping the back nice and hydrated in your pelvis, and then go into your march. Good. And then you pause, take a focused breath in, and exhale, come back to center. So now we're going to do a hip fling. So you're going to bring this foot down, and you want to bring it in close enough that you can really press down into your whole footprint, particularly your big toe pad. And we want the knee in line with the hip. Then you're going to tuck. So you're actively drawing your pubic bone towards your belly button. Take your hands, interlace your fingers. You can hold behind your thigh if that feels better. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, press into that footprint, tuck your pelvis, and then draw your knees in opposite directions. Our focus is feeling some lengthening in this hip and thigh, and by simply taking the energy of your knees moving in opposing direction with the tuck, we can get a lovely length move. And then just back off, make sure your pelvis is still nice and centered, your footprint is solid, your knees pointing straight ahead. And then as you exhale, tuck, and you're reaching your left knee over your toes as you bring your right knee towards your nose. Pause, take a focused breath in, check that your shoulders are nice and relaxed, and then release. Bring your left leg up, place your right foot down, feel your footprint, big toe pad, baby toe ball, and heel. Take a breath as you interlock your fingers. Exhale, tuck your pelvis and draw your right knee over your toes, finding that lengthening position from your tuck. And then as this knee comes towards your nose, it'll help to enhance that lengthening. Ease up, check that your pelvis is still square, your foot is planted, your knee is straight ahead, and then exhale, tuck and draw your knees in opposite direction. Pause, take a breath in, and exhale. Good. And then place this foot down. Now we're going to go into our mini bridge. So your feet are planted, and here we want to be tilted. So let's tuck, let's do what we don't want, do it wrong so we can do it right. And then you're going to tilt where the weight of your pelvis is heavy on your roller. So right now, you're light on your feet and heavy on your roller, and then your ribs are relaxed. You can bring your hands lightly to the side just to stabilize the roller. So we're tilted, take a breath. And as you exhale, now you're going to switch where you become heavy on your feet and light on the roller. And you're going to activate your glutes and simply just de-weight. So if you're on a full roller, you're still touching the roller, but now you're light. You've taken the weight of your pelvis off the roller as you press into your feet. Now here, I'm going to get you to narrow your knee angle, push your heels away from your seat, and then lift your pelvis one more inch so you start to come off your roller. Check that your throat is open, ribs are heavy, knee angle narrowed, heels push away from your seat and really active through your lower glutes and hamstrings. Pause, take a breath in, and exhale, come back now where you're landing heavy on your pelvis and light on your feet, your glutes let go. Let's do that again. Take a breath in. As you exhale, you're tilted, remember. Now you want to be heavy in your feet, light in your pelvis, de-weight, still touching, but your glutes are engaging. Narrow the knee angle, and as you exhale, push your heels away from your seat, and just from your lower glutes, upper hamstrings, lift one more inch. That beautiful lengthening through your hip and thigh, your knees reaching over your toes. Pause, take a breath in, and exhale, let your pelvis come down on the roller, heavy in your pelvis, light in your feet. Take a breath in. Exhale, you're still tilted, heavy in your feet, light in your pelvis. Narrow your knee angle, push your heels away from your seat, just from your glutes, lift one more inch. Take a breath and exhale, pause and bring it down. So now we're going to integrate that. We're going to do 4 where we bring all of that together. So you'll take a breath in, and as you exhale, push your heels away from your seat, narrow your knee angle. As you press into your feet, you're reaching your knees over your toes, and then you lower back down. Again, exhale, press heavy into your feet, staying in that tilt. Lift from your pelvis, check that your ribs are heavy, and lower back down. 2 more. Again, and heavy in your feet. Narrow your knee angle, push your heels away from your seat, use your glutes and lower down. And one more time to press up, squeeze the glutes, reach your knees over your toes and bring it back down. Bring your left leg up, flex your foot, send your heel across the room. Keep your thighs straight, lift your leg up and flex your foot. Point and flex. Good. Now, when you brought your leg up, chances are you tucked. And when you flex your foot, you likely feel your calf and then your hamstring. So now I'm going to get you to tilt your pelvis on the roller. Keep your legs straight, point your toe, and then flex. And as you flex, can you feel that now it's more one long line, a seamless connection from your heel to your sit bone. Turn externally in your hip and internally, externally and internal. And then hold the external, make sure your leg is active. You want to keep your left hip anchored to the roller. Your foot stays flexed. As you exhale, cross your left leg over midline, bring your right leg across midline as well. So you're drawing your inner thigh together, maintaining your left hip down. Pull your pinky towards the outside of your knee, your baby toe. Good. Take a focused breath in. Notice that lengthening move through the whole outer hip. And then bring your leg back to center, bend your knee, and feel that wonderful rush of energy and flow all the way through the back of your leg. Bring your right leg up, flex your foot. Send your leg across the room so your leg is straight. Bring your leg up. Tilt your pelvis on top of the roller. Remember, your ribs stay heavy. And notice when you point and flex, do you feel a seamless line of tensional pull from your heel to your sits bone? If you feel your calf and then just your hamstring, check that you haven't tucked. Tilt. Hold your foot flex. From your hip, externally rotate and internally rotate. Externally rotate, internally rotate. Now turn the hip and toe out. Check that your right hip is planted. Take a focused breath in. As you exhale, bring your right leg across midline, keeping your right hip anchored. Bring your left knee across midline. Pull your baby toe to the outside of your knee. Take a focused breath in. And exhale, bring your leg back to center. Bend your knee and place your foot down on the ground. Lift your pelvis, move the roller out from underneath you, straighten your legs out, and let's just check in. So what we just did, perfect, we got more time, yay, is we did our SI joint shear, we did our tuck and tilt, and then we did our mini bridge and a lower body length move. So notice here, if we did all that right, what we'll notice is more of a low back curve. So the curve will be shorter, the ribs heavy, but steeper, which is what we're looking for. And perhaps you notice that now you really are resting on your glutes and not just on your sacrum. We're going to pause, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Good. So we're going to take your roller and we're going to come onto your side. You want the roller lined up with your torso. So not down here with the lower body, but up here with the torso. Your head can lie on your arm, or if you need a little more head support, just put a pillow down under between your arm and your head. You're going to take your arm with the roller and take your arm straight out. Then you're going to bring the roller up so your knee comes on the roller. Then you're going to straighten your leg so your toe comes down onto the floor. And the roller will land just above your knee. This hand gets placed on top of the mat. And with your whole torso together, using this arm to navigate, you're going to roll forward just in the upper 2 inches above your knee. Notice here that I'm moving my shoulder, ribs, and pelvis all as one unit, so that the back stays supported. Then you're going to pause, you're going to flex your foot and bend and straighten your knee, or hold the knee bent, you can lower and lift your heel, which is nice to get that internal and external rotation in your hip. And then you wait, take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. Then you're going to move the roller to mid-thigh, toe is down, use your hand, and your whole torso is moving in equal timing, your shoulders, your ribs, and your pelvis. If you don't feel much on the inner thigh, you can turn a little and get a bit more on the front of thigh as well. So you're gliding, so you're looking, you're preparing your tissue and you're exploring. If you find a spot, you bump up against it. And then we wait, we flex your foot, and you can either bend and straighten your knee for your shear, or you can lift and lower your heel, whichever feels best for you. And then you wait, you pause, take a focused breath in, and then you exhale. Now we want to move the roller all the way up into the groin. Just push the top of the roller away from you a little bit, place your toe down, and you can come over onto your forearms, and you just want to roll right up deep into the inner hip. Good. So you're a little elevated through the pelvis, using your forearms to navigate the movement. And then you're going to pause, lie down, flex your foot, and then you can either lower and lift your heel, or keep your foot down, stabilize, and do what we call cross friction. And then you pause there, take a focused breath in, and exhale. Good. All right. So let's head over to the other side. So I'll just turn so I can see you. You're going to bring your arm up in line with your torso. You're going to take the roller out in front of you. I did miss a cue with the roller on the other side, which some of you may have picked up on. We want to just tilt the bottom of the roller towards you. It worked fine the way we did it, but this is a bit better. Then you're going to bring this leg on so your knee is on the roller, and then you're going to straighten your leg so your toe comes down to the floor. And so the roller will land just above your knee. Then take this hand, place the hand flat, and moving your shoulders, your ribs, and your pelvis, you're just going to glide in the 2 inches just above your knee. You can be right on the inner thigh. You can turn a little and get a little bit more on the front of thigh. Good. And then you wait, you flex your foot. You can either bend and straighten your knee, or you can lift and lower your heel. Good. And then you wait, take a focused breath in and exhale. And then you're going to take that roller, move it up towards your inner thigh, and same thing. You're just going to roll forward and back. Preparing your tissue, exploring. Awareness is what brings opportunity for you to make any adjustments in your body. And then we pause, flex your foot. You can either bend and straighten your knee, or you can lower and lift your heel. And you're going to pause, take a breath in, and exhale. Then we're going to move the roller right up into your inner thigh. You can either stay on your side or prop yourself up onto your forearms, but we want to try and get in there deep into the joint. And you're just going to move with use your shoulders or your arms to help you. Keep your toe on the ground. Your leg is relaxed and heavy. Good. And then you're going to pause. You're going to lie down, and you can either flex your foot and lift and lower your heel, or you can hold that leg there and just go into some cross friction. And then you wait. You take a focused breath in and exhale. Good. And then you come off your roller. So we are going to do a little rinse here. So we're just going to sit up for a moment. And you're just going to move your hands on your thigh, up the front of your thigh and down the back. We finished with compression. We just want to move those fluids through your body, up the front, down the back. Good. And then we'll do the other side, up the front, down the back. Excellent. So Monday's class, we do, again, more the compression and the lengthening, and Thursdays is focused on bringing more stability into the body. Both are excellent. But if you're new to mount, I suggest you try Monday's class and just see how that feels, because you want to get the compression and the lengthening and the stability is sort of the third piece of that. Good. And we're just going to finish with a little quick rest assess here. You're going to lie on your back, palms to your ceiling. Eyes are closed. And what there's to notice is there more of you on the floor? Do you notice that your shoulder blades are wide and grounded onto the floor? Do you feel like your ribs are down? Take a breath. How does your breath feel? Is there more ease? Is it easier to get breath into your body? Noticing where you're sitting on your pelvis. Do you feel like, again, you've got that equal weight through 2 butt cheeks? Good. Turn your head to the side, right and left. Notice if there's any more ease of movement, less restriction. Bring it back to center. Divide your body into a left and right. And notice if before you felt like you were more heavy onto one side, do you feel more centered? Take a focused breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knees, roll onto your side, and up to a seated position. And there we go.